Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name's Emma, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Marcie.
Hello.
Training camp has officially started. Today
Woohoo.
was the first day, first on ice day for all the teams. Yesterday was all like their media days and stuff. So I'm really excited to discuss that because we did get like quite a few like Leaf tidbits and stuff, and especially yesterday when they were talking to the media and things like that. But first, right off the top, we do have a very special announcement.
Very special announcement.
Very special announcement. And of course, like, in an ideal world, we would have said this in Monday's episode, but just like people's schedules and timing and things like that, we didn't actually get to discussing it until after and making things official. But yeah, so we've talked about them a lot of times. We've actually had one of their writers and editors on the show. And that is the wonderful team over at Offside. So we are officially joining the Offside family.
Woo!
Yeah, still bringing the same like great content and stuff. Like we're not changing the format of the podcast. Podcast is staying exactly the same it is. It just like is now associated with Offside. So it makes it easier for us. We get more support and things like that in that way. May mean that we may get some merch in the future. We've started to discuss that a little bit, but yeah, so it just means that you can find the podcast on their website, which is great. It gives us a landing page to be like, oh, because I don't like making websites, but and also as well, just some extra social promotion from us on their social pages and things like that, and we get a little fun Offside logo in the corner of our logo.
Logoception.
Logoception, yeah. So shout out to Avery and Ariel, who are the big bosses over at Offside for welcoming us, like welcoming the show into the fold over there. So big exciting stuff from us.
So exciting.
Yeah. So that was it. That was the big thing that I think I teased like last episode. We have more stuff this season planned, but that was like the one. Yeah. So yeah, definitely go give them a follow. I'll have to actually adjust my outro now, but yeah, go give Offside News. Offside News Co. I think is them across all social platforms. And then also their website, offsidenewsco.com. And yeah, I believe. And so yeah, give them a follow, go check out the website. I write stuff for them. And a bunch of our friends do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as well, go follow them anyway, because they're really cool.
Yeah, they're really cool anyway. Like, even if you don't read a single article from them, they are really cool. So, yeah. With that being said, we can get right into the Leafs. Start talking about the Leafs.
All about the Leafs.
All about the Leafs, baby. So I think before even training camp, we did finally find out why all the O's disappeared from all like the Leaf social stuff and like all that teasing. It's because they were announcing their new helmet sponsor, and it is Oreos, like the cookie.
It's
cookie company.
On brand.
I love it. I think it's great. You know, the Leafs have the milk sponsorship from the Ontario Dairy Farmers Association. On their jerseys, so they have milk on their jerseys, and now they have Oreos on their helmet. It's a little milk and cookies situation that I very much enjoy. And I am who will be the first play-by-play to work that into a call where some guy just goes bar down. He goes right where mom keeps the top shelf, right where mom keeps the cookie jar.
Oh god.
Do you know what like column type of column referencing? Yeah. I'm waiting for who it'll be first. But I love it. I love a good theme. I can appreciate a good theme, and I think Oreos, they're fun. It's cool. The colors match, so all the branding and stuff. It doesn't look too like out of place. I think it can lead to some fun like just like social media content team-wise, because you have to do some like partner branding things. I will say, because like there were people who were being like, that's it, it's just for the helmet sponsor. It probably was like how these sort of things work is like there is something like it was probably like contractually obligated for the team to like do a little bit of a tease leading up to it, like especially when it's a big company.
Oh yeah.
Like I guess Oreo has a parent company. I don't know who it is. But like when it's Oreo, like a very recognizable brand like that, you kind of probably do have to do a little bit of a tease into it for
Yeah.
like the company's sake. It probably wasn't the Leafs who were like, we should tease this. It's like the Leafs would have been perfectly fine just doing a press release. It probably was Oreo's being like, hey, you guys, can you tease this? You know, can we come up with a way to tease this on social media to build up hype and things like that? And it got written into the contract. So, but it is fun. I love it. We already saw like glimpses of that over media day yesterday with the Leafs. There were some of the guys were doing some fun challenges and stuff like that for social media content that we will see throughout the season. So that's exciting. That's really fun. Love it. Now onto like the actual like training camp stuff.
Yeah.
You know where I'm gonna start off the top of the bat, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Is the injuries. Because like there was the like the start of season press conferences by the leadership group, as well as Craig Berube and Brad Treliving and Brendan Shanahan yesterday morning. Yeah, yesterday morning, because I watched those. And it was, I'm trying to like phrase this in a way. So like the stuff from the players was pretty run of the mill, like pretty standard stuff. Like I was like, okay, we hear essentially the same thing every year. It doesn't really change. Mitch Marner did start his media availability with saying, I'm not taking any questions about like my contract extension, which is very, very fair. Like I don't think like that has I just don't think, you know what, I'm trying to explain this because it like I understand him setting boundaries of like I don't want people asking me about this because I don't want to give the same answer 30 times. He's given his answer about it. Yeah. He said that's between, that's between my agent and Brad, and I think that's fair to like, you know what I mean? Like people like
he's not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, this is what I've asked for, it's on them now. Like
he's not gonna give you a number. If that's what you're trying to get, he's not gonna give you a number.
No. Like it's just, you'd think these people would have more common sense than they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing the list of injuries come out, every single one I read, I just died inside a little bit more.
Yeah. Sorry, my mom is FaceTiming me, and I've already texted her to call me back.
Hi, Mom.
I don't want to edit this out. She knows it's Thursday too. So I want to reduce the amount of editing, and I don't want to sit and edit out a FaceTime call. And I texted her, sorry, I can't talk right now. And so if it's urgent, she can text me what it is. Because it's probably not urgent.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, sorry. Injuries, yeah, Brad Treliving, right off the top of his media availability yesterday was like, first of all, I've got some injuries I want to address. And I was like, no.
Oh.
That was the word. Like as soon as he said that, I was like, no. So there's a couple. Connor Dewar will be missing camp and perhaps the first the start of the season because he's recovering from shoulder surgery that he got right when the Leaf season ended. Which I guess is kind of expected. Because we don't really know like what was being repaired. We just know it's shoulder. We don't really know like what exactly they were fixing. So we don't really have a timeline to compare it to.
But what we do have a timeline for is the high ankle sprain.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so hopefully Connor, like once come back, like he is pretty, I think he's pretty safe in his spot on the fourth line, but it does really suck that he doesn't get to like, we don't get to see him through camp, we don't get to see him in the preseason. at all. So him coming back again will just add to like what offensive upside and surprise he could have. But yeah, and then on and then yeah, and then yeah, sorry. High ankle sprain. Sorry, my mom FaceTiming me halfway through totally threw me off. It's thrown me off. She knows what I do on Thursdays.
She knows it's me time.
Well, she knows. It's always been the same routine, and I did like, anyways. But yeah, so Fraser Minton in the second rookie showcase game against Montreal went into the boards awkwardly. We talked about it a little bit on Monday's episode. We don't really know what's happened yet. What it is. It is a high ankle sprain.
Right, all I've got in my notes for this is just enough with the high ankle sprains. Oh my god, all caps.
I'm really annoyed by it. It is like the fourth player to get it. This the fourth Leaf to have a high ankle sprain within the span of in the past year, less than a year. Because Liljegren was like right before Sweden. Which is kind of crazy. Like I don't remember it like league wide being that popular of an injury.
No, it just loves the Leafs.
And it is really like, at least like the Leafs like medical team is like really well versed in how. But it does suck for Fraser Minton, who was a guy that I was like really looking forward to seeing at camp, considering he made the team out of camp last year. And I thought, maybe he has the chance to repeat that performance. Like there is some guys that he can go up against and maybe beat out for a spot. Like I'm thinking, and even just getting to see him in preseason game, I was talking so much about that like Nyes, Minton, Cowan line that we won't get to see now.
I don't know. That's what's like the most upsetting. It's like the start of the season for him was looking so promising.
Yeah, and I think, and also you have to think about it as well as like he obviously like he can't go back to Saskatoon because he's aged out of the CHL. But it is like also thinking about the fact of like it affects like, okay, so now we can't attend like Marley's camp. And so then, coming to a new team and then things like that. Like I'm sure the Marlies and the Leafs run very similar systems for a reason. So I'm sure he's somewhat familiar with like the Leaf system and things like that. But it just sucks. It sucks, for a guy who's had a really strong, he had a really strong performance through the playoffs. He had a really strong just season in general, and then had a really strong performance in the playoffs, and just looked to have like a really good summer, and to have it ruined essentially before training camp even starts. Because it sucks. Also in that same sort of boat is Ben Danford, who is out due to a concussion that he suffered during like the practices before during the prospect camp. So he will be out undetermined amount of time, but which sucks. Like I really was looking forward to seeing him in through camp. We won't see him, he doesn't really have a shot of cracking the Leafs lineup as a guy who just got drafted, Leafs most recent first round draft pick. But it is that thing. He is the Leafs most recent first round draft pick. He I think a lot of Leaf fans weren't really familiar with him and didn't really know his play. Unless you go to Oshawa Generals games or you watch a lot of OHL hockey, you really just didn't know who he was. Because he was a off the board pick for the Leafs when you think about it. But so it was just looking forward to seeing him. It seems like he was going to be paired up with Chadwick, and that was going to be exciting to see how they worked a little bit more in a more in-depth way and more game scenarios and things like that, and not just some preseason games and things like that. So it sucks again, and it sucks for him because now it's throws off the start of his season and things like that. It just kind of sucks where it's it's a prospect camp, which is for player development and things, and guys get hurt during it because it just sucks in general when guys get hurt. But
it's a combination of injuries and just the worst timing possible. Because like if this happened like 6 months from now, like everything would be fine, like nothing would really change. But it's like it's right now, like in training camps and stuff. It throws everything off for like the next 12 months. Well, not the next 12 months, but the next season.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. I just no more injuries.
The other one as well is Ryan Toberg is also injured with something, and I feel bad that I sort of like heard the first 3 listed out, and then I totally blacked out. Not blacked out.
No more.
Yeah, no, I just was like, oh no, this sucks. Probably can do. Mark Masters would have it, and I can find what he has. But he also is injured as well, and will be missing camp.
We just can't have nice things. We really can't.
No, he doesn't have it. Who would? Oh, Nick.
Who tweeted?
Someone tweeted out where it listed all of them.
Yeah.
I just never saved.
Who. Did I quote it?
Here, oh yes. He had shoulder surgery in the summer. Could see him sooner than later. So it was also shoulder. I was like, it was something. It was like there was a repeat. Like 2 guys were the same thing. So he also did have shoulder surgery. There we go. Now I remember. But yeah, so sucks for him as well.
Yeah. I just want people to stop getting injured. Makes me sad.
Yeah, no, it sucks. But now into like the other stuff. I'm not even gonna talk about like because then I'm just gonna get mad about the media asking Nick Robertson questions that he really didn't need to be asked.
Oh God, was it bad?
Well, they were just asking him like, oh, well, you asked for a trade and now you signed a contract. What does it mean? And he's like, I'm not here to talk about that. Why? So I'm like, I don't even.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even bother asking him that? Like, what's the point?
Like, he's not going to sit there having signed a contract and be like, yeah, I hate this team. I hate everyone.
Yeah, but you know what we can talk about right off the bat?
What can we talk about?
Congrats to Simon Benoit for the birth of his first child today. He missed the first day of training camp because of the birth of his first child.
He's a dad.
Yeah, congrats to him.
Huge day for him.
Huge day for him. Yeah, it was also his birthday today. So,
what a birthday present.
Yeah, no, the Leafs are rolling into the season with some dad power.
So much dad power.
I think the team actually is now more dads than not if you look down the roster.
There's a lot of dads.
There's a lot of dads. Like, I'm not.
Hopefully they do something with all this dad power.
Callie Yonkro, dad. David Kampf, dad. Ryan Reeves, dad. John Tavares, very dad. Simon Benoit, dad. I think Oliver Ekman-Larsson has kids.
Potential. I don't know.
Jake McCabe, dad. Morgan Riley, dad. Chris Tanev, dad. Matt Murray. I don't know if he's in the we'll talk about Matt Murray, we'll talk about the goalie question, but like dad. Anthony Stolarz does not have children, but yeah. Some dads. We've got some dads.
So many dads.
Yeah. Also as well, Alex Nylander spoke to the media today, post
He's here.
Host group, the group one skate. Yeah, so they skated in 3 different groups, but after group one skate, which he was in, and he said though that the development options that the Leafs organization had was one of the reasons why he signed an AHL, Jesus, with the Marlies, and then he did receive NHL offers, but he decided to sign an AHL deal because I guess yes, like development wise, like it is probably it is Marlies is good for that aspect, and
Yeah.
who knows? But yeah, he is also as well living with William. I know the people were asking was
The people need to know.
the people needed to know if the Nylander brothers were roommates, and yes, they are, and they also were carpooling to camp today.
I'm so happy they're together.
So I think it's really fun. It because we knew in the summer, but you kind of like, oh yeah, they're gonna be on the same team, and then you see like in like tweets and stuff, seeing like the A Nylander, or like Nylander in brackets William. That was my favorite one that someone did, that one of the beat reporters did, is they did Nylander in brackets William.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, no, so excited to see that. I mean, I don't know, to just a one-way like AHL deal, so who knows if he'll get signed to an NHL contract at any point through the season and will play a game, but you never know. It's also fun. I mean, some of these lines. Oh yes, also as well, while we're speaking about the Nylanders, they're going to give William Nylander another go at center. Which, sure.
It's a choice.
Yeah, like I'm not mad about it because I do know that like last year it did happen. Like they did start him at center to start the preseason, but he played 2 games, and then Sheldon Keefe decided we're not doing that anymore. So we'll see. His line, like today, again, like I don't think you can't really read into the lines too much. Like you can for some things. Like I guess the defensive pairings are pretty like telling. But like so today Nylander was centering a line of that was Domi and Yarncroc, and like sure. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like that's the thing, is like we couldn't watch the line rushes because we weren't there and we weren't there at the Board Performance Center. But like once the preseason games start and we're watching more of those and things like that, we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But
but I don't know. Like I guess we'll give it another go. I don't like that's the thing for me, is like I just don't. I don't know. It's you can't read too much into it until we like see stuff. And as well, there was another point that I wanted to bring up about camp and things like that. Oh yeah, just like weirdly enough, like Connor Timmins left the ice, went to the dressing room, and then came back like 2 minutes later. I think he just had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's like the amount of like initial panic where it's like Connor Timmins has left the ice, everyone's like, please no, and then it's like he just needed to pee. He just had to wee.
Yeah, is it really the first day of camp if that doesn't happen?
Exactly. It's like a classic. We should have done a bingo for like stuff that's just guaranteed to happen.
Yeah.
But no, we've got so much content in the last like 48 hours. I don't know what to do with myself.
I know there's been like it was really bad. Like yesterday was because it was all the media day stuff, and I was live on air. Like I was on like my campus radio station, which I've started doing their sports show as well, which is really fun. Um, but like I was live on air when like most of that stuff was coming out, and so like I couldn't really check my phone
Oh
because
yeah.
I couldn't like check my phone to react to things because that's the magic of live radio. When it's only two people
Mm.
and you have to maintain a conversation and things like that, you don't really have time to like pay attention to things. So I came back to like just a flood of content. And today there was some more stuff as well, just like because on ice pictures and things like that. And then, some other just like social stuff as well that was coming out. And it was like while I was in class, and I was like, this is distracting.
Mm.
Um, but it is nice to get that content back because you miss it during the off season for sure.
Mm. Yeah, it's like my life was empty. It was too quiet. And now it's just done a complete 180.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think if there's any other Leaf things that we wanted to discuss before we move on.
No, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about Joseph's ice cream rankings because I have.
Oh, no, because I think his ice cream rankings were fair. They were fine. Would I have put mint chip that high? No, because I'm not my mom. But do I think
I
yes, absolutely, that peach should have is that low? Yes, yes, it is.
justice for Peach.
No, where can you even get peach ice cream?
I don't know. I don't have it often, but it's really nice.
No, no. You should have known, like, when we got ice cream, when I was over visiting you, that I actually agree with Joseph Wool's statement on chocolate chip cookie dough is the best ice cream flavor. It is no Heavenly Hash. Heavenly Hash is my favorite, but you cannot get Heavenly Hash any like everywhere. It is I think it very much could be like a very Canadian flavor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't
Because
think we have it.
the only like ice cream brands that I know make it are like Canadian ones.
No, I just right.
Or
So
yeah.
I don't like sweet things. Well, it's not that I don't like sweet things, but I don't like overly sweet things in general. So I feel like that's where our differences lie. So I was like, I'm not being funny. Cotton candy belongs at 10. Cotton candy ice cream, awful. Peanut butter deserves better than
No.
10. I don't like cotton candy ice cream.
Like the only thing I don't like about cotton candy ice cream is the fact that it turns your mouth like a different color. If it didn't have all the dyes, I would enjoy
It's like
cotton candy ice
bubblegum
cream
ice
more.
cream. Also, I just
Bubblegum
don't
ice
like.
cream is the best.
I don't. It's it tastes too artificial to the point where it just upsets me. It's just like
It's sugar. It's supposed to taste artificial.
I know, no, but you know what I mean, where it's like you can get nice levels of like it feels like aggressively like just too much. Peanut butter deserves better. Peanut butter ice cream, it's beautiful, incredible. Peach deserves better. Coffee can stay where it is. The rest, I'm kind of like, yeah. Also, I'm coming out, guys. I'm coming out. Mint choc chip enjoyer. I think mint choc
Yeah,
chip's
no.
best.
My mom likes mint chocolate. Like she like that is the only ice cream flavor she will get if a place doesn't have mint chocolate chip, she will not be getting ice
Mm.
cream.
It's like I
But
gravitate towards fruit or fruit based ice cream flavors.
I would put strawberry lower. I'm not a strawberry person. I just don't like the fruit. I'm
It
not
right. Strawberry ice cream it's very
if you're talking about an ice cream flavor that can taste artificial,
yeah, strawberry ice cream not a fan. It depends on the
I'm
strawberry
just
ice
I'm
cream though.
I'm just saying I do think it's criminal to put chocolate below strawberry though. Like, think about a nice Dutch chocolate ice cream.
Yeah. I'm just
No.
again, it depends what chocolate, because I've had a dark chocolate ice cream before that was one of the best things I've ever tasted. But again, that's me. I prefer dark chocolate because it's more bitter.
I guess, yeah.
there's a theme here.
Yeah, no, it's like you do not have a sweet tooth, whereas I very much do.
Yeah, it's like I went to the shop with my mum a few weeks ago, and she was like, "Oh, like, do you want some chocolate for your birthday?" And I was like, I immediately gravitated. I was like, I'll do dark chocolate, because she picked up. I don't like dairy milk.
Caramel, it is, Cadbury
Not
chocolate
a
is
fan.
very sweet.
Dairy
It's
milk
very
chocolate.
sweet.
You see, I used to like enjoy it. Then I got COVID 3 times, and ever since then I've been unable to eat dairy milk or like anything that's like overly sweet, which probably contributes to the whole I prefer fruit flavored ice creams. But strawberry ice cream wise, you can either have just like the generic, really artificial tasting strawberry ice cream, or I I can't remember where I was, but I was somewhere in like the countryside in England, and they did strawberry ice cream with real chunks of strawberries in.
No.
I think
I
about
will
that
say
more than I should.
though, like, what is your opinion on ice cream that has um that has like actual like chunks in it? Like, not like the ice cream itself is chunk, but it has like added things in it. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah,
Like
it
nuts
depends
and
what's been added.
like nuts, or like you could do like the mini Rolos, or like the mini peanut butter cups. Those are really good when you do like peanut butter and
They're
chocolate, and then it has the mini peanut butter cups in there. Or like Heavenly Hash, which is my favorite ice cream, which I've come to Google is just Rocky Road, but instead of chopped up marshmallows, they do like vanilla, like a marshmallow flavored ice cream, like swirl through it.
mm,
It's a Canadian way of doing Rocky Road, I guess,
yeah.
because you can't actually buy it from an American ice cream brand. I looked it up. The only ice cream brands that sell Heavenly Hash flavored ice cream is Canadian ice cream brands
Oh,
that are all primarily based in like Southern Ontario. So I may be doing like a really niche like Southern Ontario. Actually, well, I don't know if people would consider like Kawartha Lakes like Southern Ontario, but still like Ontario ice cream.
mm,
So I don't know how it's
yeah.
like niche saying Heavenly Hashes on the internet, but um but so it's like um it's walnut, like, no, cut up walnuts, like chopped
Mm,
walnuts, chocolate chunks, and it's chocolate and like marshmallow like swirled ice cream.
mm,
It is so good. It is my
yeah.
favorite. Chapman's does the best one. I am very loyal to the Chapman's ice cream. Um because the ice cream place we go growing up was like did like sold Chapman's ice cream, so I'm loyal to the Chapman's.
Mm.
But I will say I do have actually creme brulee flavored ice cream in my freezer right now that I got from like the grocery store.
Oh
It's
my
not like one of
god.
those fancy ones. It was like one of the few flavors that I liked that was like actual like real dairy ice cream.
Mm,
So,
yeah. You know, I just think I can do if it's like vanilla ice cream with like little bits of chocolate like in it. I'll enjoy that. That's fine. Just not a big fan of chocolate ice cream as a whole. And I think, yeah, I've realized recently that I do prefer just like more like sour and like bitter things, because I will very happily just sit and like eat a grapefruit like it's an orange. Like, I'll just peel it. And so far, no one else I know will eat a grapefruit A like that, or B without sugar. And it's one of my favorite things to eat because it's just really bitter. So yeah, me and overly sweet ice cream, just not meant to be, I'm afraid. But yeah, no, when I saw that TikTok, I just I had many thoughts. Also, can someone tell Joseph Wall that he doesn't have to hold his phone like he's a
The phone,
70-year-old
like,
man trying to like read the news?
yeah, I will say that angle is a little bit disastrous, but
A
yeah, no, I'm very
little
glad.
bit.
I'm very glad we figured out this ice cream conversation because
Mm. Yeah, I'm not being funny. It sounded like in when you were replying to me on Twitter, it kind of sounded like you were planning a divorce.
I just like you think you know someone, turns out they like peach flavored ice cream, which is so weird. I didn't even know they made peach flavored ice cream.
Well, yeah, I've not had it like a lot, but I also love peach anyway.
No, if you do peach ice cream, the only thing that comes up is like recipes for it.
Yeah, no, the most recent time I had peach ice cream was last summer in Tobermory. If you're ever in Tobermory, by the way, which is right
And
in
in
Balmoral.
Tobermory in
Oh yeah,
UK, in
in
Scotland, because
Tobermory in
there is a
Scotland.
Tobermory in Ontario that also has a really good ice cream place that I highly recommend that you go if you were ever there. But I also don't think people need to drive all the way up to Tobermory just to go have ice cream
No,
because it is
if
a
you ever
very
find
long drive
yourself
from Toronto.
if you ever find yourself in Tobermory on the Isle of Mull, the little ice cream hut on the front, they do like all that. It's like all handmade, locally sourced, like made in shop on that day ice cream. So the flavors are never this like it's always just like a rotation of flavors. I had peach ice cream there last summer and it was incredible. And they had a lemon meringue ice cream as well, which I did enjoy. But I think lemon's a brilliant flavor for like anything. But yeah, that's our ice cream recommendations.
Yeah, I know.
But
Now we've talked so much about ice cream and we're recording this before I've eaten dinner, so I'm getting very hungry.
oh no.
But we can talk about some other NHL stuff that happened in the past few days.
Mm,
Lucas Raymond and Moritz Seider both signed their contracts. So good for
they did.
you, Steve. And managed to keep them both below what Dylan Larkin is making. Not combined, but like they both are not
Mm.
making more than 8.7. So, which was the plan, but yeah. But speaking of people who do not have a contract yet, Jeremy Swayman. Did I read out that Don Sweeney quote? No, because that came out yesterday. The
Yeah.
Don Sweeney quote. No, because see, the problem is now is I will do the podcast and I'll have the radio show, and I think a lot of the conversation carries over and is very similar.
Yeah.
And so I have to make sure that the Siri on my iPad just went off. But I wanted to make sure that I like don't forget to bring something up.
Mm.
Here we go. Yeah, this is via Elliot Friedman, but it probably is just from like a media availability. Boston GM Don Sweeney said today that he's disappointed not to have a contract done with Jeremy Swayman, but is optimistic they will find a landing spot with the Bruins by December 1st. That is the deadline for Swayman to sign a contract for the 24-25 season and still be able to play like this season, which is
Mm.
like setting the bar so low. It's like, yeah, we hope to have
Yeah,
a contract so he can like play this year.
that I think that is what's kind of made me think like it's not looking too
Yeah,
promising
no,
at
no, no.
the moment.
Like that's the thing where it was like if he had said, "Oh, we hope to have like a contract before like the season starts." Okay, you still have
Mm.
3 weeks left, right, to get it done.
There's still time.
To say we hope to have a contract done by December 1st, you're setting the bar so low, it's on the ground. Like that's the
Yeah.
expectation from Boston Bruins fans. It's like, oh yeah, no, Jeremy Swayman's gonna play this season.
Mm.
And
It's like
like you do have to cut, like there does have to be a little bit of flexibility there because Jeremy Swayman does have the same agent as the Gaudreau brothers did. So there's that you have to take into account, but also
yeah.
it should not have even gone this late in general where that is a
No.
factor.
It's like
But
I want to know how they've managed to fumble the goalie situation this bad. Like
where
the
it's
fact
like,
that you trade Ulmark,
yeah,
you lose Ulmark before you've like got Jeremy Swayman locked in.
yeah, which like, yeah, that is essentially the rant that I went on timeout yesterday.
It's just the most insane fumble, and I'm like,
Um, yeah, so shout
how?
out. But like I did go on that where it's like it literally was, it's like, okay, so Ottawa wanted the trade done before July 1st. I guess even Boston as well. They both mutually wanted the trade done before July 1st. But you could also have signed Jeremy Swayman before July 1st because
Yeah.
you can do it up to the July 1st, the season before, right?
Mm,
But they wanted to get the deal done by July 1st so that Allmark didn't have the opportunity to change his list of teams on his no trade clause,
mm,
which he would have been allowed to do on July 1st.
yeah.
So they wanted to not even have to go to him. They wanted just to do the trade and get it done.
Mm,
So that's why it happened, right? And then but you lose your biggest bargaining piece of like, okay, you don't want to sign for this amount. Well, I can trade you and send you somewhere else and we can use Allmark instead, right? Like you lost that bargaining piece and you also lost that that insurance of like, okay, we'll still have a like a Vezina caliber starting
mm,
goaltender because now the Boston Bruins are going to have, if Jeremy Swayman still doesn't sign in the next 3 weeks, less than season
mm,
starts July 9th. I don't think they play the first, like the 8th for them. I think their first game is the 9th. But
mm.
like, um, not, did I say July? I meant October. Oops.
Yeah.
Oh no, they do play October 8th. Okay. Against the Panthers. But if you go into the season, which starts October 8th, and you're playing the Panthers, and your starting goaltender is Jonas Korpisalo,
Mm.
I think like
Why?
Bruins fans are gonna lose it, and I'm gonna laugh
Mm. It.
because as like, like the Leafs went through this with Nylander, and it took so much as Kyle Dubas flying out to Switzerland to convince him to sign.
Yeah. Which was a whole thing.
Which was a whole thing. But like, so I'm familiar with like an art, like I, before Bruins are like, well, you don't know, like, what do you know? I'm like, I very much do know what it's like to have an RFA holdout on a contract
Mm.
and not
Been there,
sign
done that.
and miss part of the season.
Mm.
And it took as much as the GM to fly across the Atlantic Ocean to go
Yeah.
convince the player to come and sign and
I was
play.
like, what?
Right?
Yeah.
So, I
It's
mean, Jeremy Swayman's in Boston. He's been spotted doing stuff in
yeah.
Boston, which is hilarious. Like he was on stage at a concert,
Yeah.
like in the past like week, which I think is absolutely hilarious. As he's doing all these things around Boston, it's like, dude, you don't have a contract right now.
It's like
It's
you should be worrying about different things.
I guess also like, oh, between him and his agent and things like that. But yeah, so I don't know. Don Sweeney didn't really sound all that. I mean, I didn't hear the clip. This is just based off of an Elliot Freeman tweet. I think just by saying like December 1st, um,
It's not too promising.
no, it doesn't sound that promising. It doesn't sound that reassuring. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, trying to think of other news that happened this week that I want to bring up.
Well, I have the Nottingham Panthers
Oh yes, you can do that,
announced.
and I will try and remember if there was any other news this week that I'm trying to think of.
The Nottingham Panthers, who are a team in England in the Elite League. They announced yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, that on the 14th of December they are retiring number 47, which was Adam Johnson's number. He last year
It was
there
right
was
when we started the show.
we
We
spoke about
talked
it in the
about it
first
in our
episode.
we talked about it in our first episode.
He died after an accident on the ice where a skate cut his neck, and it was horrific. They've announced that they're retiring his number, and I wanted to bring that up because it's relevant to things that have happened recently, and also I will find the link for this, but there's the Adam Johnson Memorial Fund that I know like a lot of the Nottingham Panthers and like the whole league has done a lot of things. They've done a great deal of things to raise money for the fund. So they had the memorial jerseys. I've bought a little pin badge with 47 on it. It's yeah. We'll find the link and we'll put that in because it's.
I'll add more things to the show notes.
Yeah, I'm making your job harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's. Yeah. I just wanted to bring that one up because it's.
Yeah, and now I
Usually
realize what I wanted to talk about, and it just makes me sound. The Anaheim Ducks announced their captain is Radko Gudas, and I feel as much joy as I do as the way that I am saying this with the tone of my voice. He's the ninth captain in Ducks history. He has only been with the team for one season.
Yeah, that says it all. Oh, you really do look thrilled.
I don't like him.
No.
I just think also as well, I don't know what kind of like precedent the Ducks are setting with this because Radko Gudas is a guy who has a criticism tab on his Wikipedia page. And it's about five paragraphs listing all of the various dangerous hits to the head that he has laid against guys. Just various players throughout the league. One of them was Jimmy Vesey in a preseason game, which, like, why are you going after Jimmy Vesey in a preseason game? Yeah. It's Jimmy Vesey. It's also a preseason game. But yeah, I just, like, also as well, like, that picture from round 2, like, of 2023 of hit, like, in game 5, after Nick Cousins scored the goal in overtime, and he just yells in Joseph Wool's face. Like, that's so icky in like a sportsman, like, and I get it, your team won, but also it's like, have some sportsmanship.
Yeah, it's like you can be happy
like
that
realize
but you don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah, no, you can be happy that your team has won, but also realize like what you're doing in the moment of like, hey, have some tact, have some sportsmanship. That is a rookie, like essentially, yeah, a rookie goaltender who had, 11 NHL games, playoff and regular season at that point under his belt.
Yeah,
like not very many.
Like, come on.
And it makes you look, pardon my French, like a dick.
Yeah.
Massively. And that's who you're going to be a captain, a guy who's only been there for a season. He's only been there for a season, and I don't even believe his contract is that long. Like, and he's not even like a good defenseman. Yeah, he signed a 3-year contract. So his contract expires at the end of next season when he's going to be 30. It was like they were like, okay, who's the oldest guy on the team who's not John Gibson because we can't make the goalie a captain.
Yeah, literally.
Because it's like there's other veteran guys there who have been there for longer. Troy Terry is one of them. Frank Vetrano is another one that you think of who you think, okay, yeah, that's because I think Frank Vetrano, who was the Ducks like all-star he had a great season last year. He went to the All-Star game as the Ducks representative. And right, like, just why is that?
Yeah, like how do you sit there, look at him and go, you know who'd be a great captain?
Yeah, you know who we want to be the voice of leadership and to set an example for our team? Radko Gudas, who has a rap sheet with the Department of Player Safety that rivals like Brad Marchand. And at least Brad Marchand is still like a good hockey player when he's not licking people.
Literally. It's like since
like he makes like because at least like it's like Radko Gudas makes naming Jacob Trua captain look tame. Like that's a little bit of a questionable like captain, but you can at least be like, okay, like yeah, Jacob Trua sometimes isn't always the best defensively. He also has a penchant for throwing elbows. But like
at least he's a good leader.
Yeah, and he hasn't been suspended like too many times. I don't even know if he has been suspended ever.
It's like I just think since the start of 2024, the vibes.
No, he was suspended 2 games last season. But like
the vibes on the Ducks now.
Oh, they've lost all their whimsy and have just replaced it with evil.
Yeah, and it's like not only have they done that, but they've allowed Trevor Zegras, who is arguably the only tiny chance of whimsy left on that team. They've let him get that haircut.
Yeah.
Which eliminates all potential whimsy.
I think a lot of that falls onto Dixie D'Amelio because it's like, why are you letting your boyfriend do this?
No, because I'm not being funny. If my boyfriend came home with that on his head.
Simon keeps every so often will be just like, what if I got a buzz cut? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like every couple months.
Simon got a haircut.
Because he only knows how to get one haircut. I have to, and he's gonna be listening to this, and he's gonna be like, "No, I don't." I'm gonna just pull up pictures. I'm gonna be like, "Yes, you do."
Yeah.
He only knows how to get one kind of haircut. I have to introduce because he goes to the same hairdresser. That's the problem. But no, because he goes to a barber. I need to take him to a hairdresser and introduce him to the concept of a trim.
Yeah. I feel like
so Simon, because he's gonna listen to this, eventually.
Hi, Simon.
Simon, next time you want to get a haircut, get a trim. Go in and ask for a trim. Thank you very much. And I'm now gonna get a text eventually that's like, you don't like my haircuts? I'm like, they're fine. I just do like when his hair is longer. That's my personal preference.
Simon,
it also is always
kind of need Emma to.
Yeah, no, because like every 2 months, he'll be like, what if I just like got a buzz cut? And I'm like, and I have to immediately shut that down. I'm like, absolutely not. We are not doing that. No. And then I try to like plan to be. I have to go like, but you're gonna have an ugly head.
It's like I see on TikTok where people are like, oh, my girlfriend told me not to get a buzz cut, so I've just gone out and got a buzz cut. And it's like the most.
It's not like a reverse psychology thing. It's not a reverse psychology thing. It is genuinely like, no, it works for some guys, but it can't be a thing where it's like, and I like, it can't be a thing. Like, you have a buzz cut and then you grow it out. Like, Dylan O'Brien had a buzz cut.
Yeah.
And then he grew it out and then he went back to the buzz cut. And so it works because at one point he had a buzz cut. I know obviously you have to get to the buzz cut first, so you do have to commit to doing the buzz cut, but like he looks better with longer hair, and I'm not like just look at the difference between like season like 1 and season 3, even season 1 and season 2, he grows his hair out. Teen Wolf. I was gonna go season 3 because that is my favorite season, and I do think that is like his some of his best acting is in that season. Um, but yeah, no.
Yeah, it's in conclusion, if
No
you're
buzz cuts.
thinking, yeah, if in conclusion, if you're thinking about getting a buzz cut, don't.
Like,
Just don't.
yeah, sorry. We should have like put this out like about we should have said this on the podcast about like 4 or 5 months ago before Connor Timmins did his.
So you just reminded me of it.
No, because I'm gonna forget about it, and then I'm gonna
And then
see
we're
him
gonna
take his
see him.
helmet off on the bench or something and be like,
We'll be like, oh, where's his hair? He's bald.
oh no, it's bald.
But
Um,
yep.
but yeah,
Here from the fourth line, banned we banned buzz cuts. We're
this is an
taking a
anti-buzz
stand.
cut show.
We're taking a stand against buzz cuts.
Absolutely. Um,
Oh,
in other captain news, because I don't think we talked about this. Nick Foligno was named the captain of Chicago Blackhawks.
he was.
Uh, did I see that and felt very, very validated? Because it's not Connor Bedard. Yes, absolutely, because I was the one telling everybody it shouldn't be Connor Bedard. You can't put that pressure on a 19-year-old kid. Like people are like, "Oh, but Sidney Crosby." Sidney Crosby is not the example for any. Sidney Crosby is the exception to every rule. He is
Yeah.
not the example. I need people to so deeply get it right because Sidney, especially his early career, he is not like you have to like people
No.
don't remember his early career where he missed so many games because he was hurt. Like we were robbed of full seasons of prime Sidney Crosby because of all of his injuries, like his multiple concussions when he had a broken jaw, like all of these things, and we were robbed of it. He is the exception to, and he's still like top three player of all time.
Yeah.
I know some people will be like, oh, top five, I'm putting him top three. He is
Yeah.
third
No,
all time player.
you can't argue against it.
Like, um, I mean, I do have a little bit of like Canadian bias there, but like he is top three player of all time, and just like, and we've missed so many prime games of his career. So that's why like I just think like Connor like in any aspect of his career because people use him as example of like, hey, look at a player like a star player taking a team for friendly deal like on his extension when he could make so much more money. I'm like, guys, Sidney Crosby's the exception. He wanted the 8.7. He's a freak.
It's like you. It's like
Not
you.
every
Everyone
NHL
arguing
player
against it, being
has
like,
like a
oh,
Taylor Swift relationship with numbers.
really true. It's
It
like
is
everyone's
Sidney
like,
Crosby.
oh, well, other people could take. Like, why does he not take more money? And it's like, you
It's
will
not
pry the number 87. You won't even be able to pry them out of his cold, dead hands.
like that's the thing. And even like people are like, oh, like Kyle, like look, Kyle Dubas can like put together because we didn't really talk about the reaction to the Sidney Crosby contract because it did literally get announced while we were
Yeah.
recording. So we didn't get to talk about like the reaction and the discourse that followed 24 hours later, which was like, oh look, Kyle Dubas is able to like sign a star player to like a franchise player to like to able to take less money. This was not a Kyle Dubas thing. This was not a
No.
Kyle Dubas thing at all. I'm sure Kyle Dubas would have happily given Sidney Crosby more money. Probably was like, here, Sidney Crosby, here's this offer for $10 million. And Sidney Crosby saw that and went, no, I want 8.7. I want my jersey, like I want 87. And he was
Like,
like, I refuse to sign anything else but 87. So it's a Sidney Crosby thing. And Sidney Crosby is the exception to literally everything. So when people go, oh, Connor Bedard should have the seat, Connor Bedard should be captain. Connor Bedard can't even drink legally in the city of Chicago. What do you mean we're going to try to give him, like, Connor Bedard wouldn't be able to hold any parties. He probably is still living like no, actually he's living in like some apartment, but like in a building with a bunch of other like Chicago players, but like still, like guys.
I don't want to think about how bland his apartment would be.
No, no, no. It probably just has a bunch of football stuff in it. He's a big football guy.
Yeah.
He goes live on
now
Instagram
thinking
to
about
talk
it,
fantasy football, and it's my favorite thing. I will say I will watch some of it, and it is how I'm slowly like knowing who's good and who's not. Like on the radio yesterday on Time Out, we were talking about the radio. Like we were talking about football comes out because it's a general it's a general
yeah.
sports show, and so NFL comes up, and it was only me and my other co-host, and he very much like can talk football. I cannot, but I was like, no, 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 I can talk some things because I watch Connor Bedard's Instagram lives.
Yeah.
So I was able to like remember some points. I also have gotten better at just watching like Sports Center every morning and remembering things.
Mm.
But
It's like my favorite thing to do is every year I'll join a fantasy football league. And my knowledge of football,
it's so minimal.
it's American because it's not football.
It's okay. We're not having this again.
No, I'm not doing this. But yeah, my knowledge of American football begins and ends with getting really drunk and watching the Super Bowl. That's about it. So this year I joined and I was like, how can I really annoy people? And I just made my team Taylor Swift themed and then picked Travis Kelce. And it's in a league where like there's a bunch of like really like dudes.
Yeah. How are
And
you
I'm like,
doing in it?
I haven't actually checked since I joined. Um I am doo-doo-doo. Oh, I'm coming last,
Nice.
which is
Um,
I'm not surprised.
I also as well, I just want to point this out because I found this hilarious. So Spencer Carberry did hit head coach of the what I miss Spencer He ran that power play like the Navy. Leafs power play was so good when we had Spencer Carberry in charge of it. Now he's head coach in Washington. He said no update. So this is no update from Spencer Carberry on Rasmus Sandin, who's dealing with visa issues and not yet at camp. And then this is the quote that he gave: "If you know anyone in the U.S. government, please share." I need Spencer Carberry to really have a deep critical thought and think about what city he coaches in for a second. What
Mm,
American city he coaches the Washington Capitals in? And
yeah.
then ask his question of if anyone knows anybody in the US government. You could probably walk outside of their facility and throw a rock or even just come across the next person that you see, and odds
Yeah.
are they work for the US government.
Yeah.
Like there's
It,
probably like I'm sure every journalist in that room knows someone who works for the US government.
hmm.
I just think that was really funny though, where it's like, okay, you're gonna say that in Washington of all places, but um yeah.
Oh
But yeah,
dear.
so also as well, yeah, Rasmus Sandin is not at camp because he doesn't have a visa, I guess, which is weird because he played a full season in Washington last year without
Mm,
issue. So I also like just am really confused by how visas work. I think that's just really confusing. Uh, I thought,
yeah.
as long as you have a job, like your just visa is still valid, but I guess not because he still has a
Mm,
I don't know. It
who
sucks though
knows?
that he's missing out on camp for something that's like as dumb as just, oh, you don't have your visa, so you can't skate in training camp. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like anything else that happened.
Mm, I don't know.
Uh,
See, I feel like we've missed something, and I don't know what, and I don't like the fact that I feel like we've missed something.
yeah, I know. I feel like there's something like pretty big.
Um, I don't know. I feel like the last anything that happened in like the last 6 hours, I've been completely unaware of because I was out away from my phone playing field hockey. So and then I got back, made some food, and then hopped on here to record. So
Yeah,
I don't know anything that's happened, but
no, I just also not much has happened in the past like 6 hours. But
quiet day.
I just can't think of anything that like is worth us talking about.
No.
So I'm trying to think. Hold on, I'm gonna go back to if we just have anything on.
Hmm.
Preseason. Yeah, no, I mean, we'll have more next week on Monday, as like more training camp stuff, and we go through like the first weekend of preseason games. We'll each play one on Sunday, against the Senators in Toronto, and then they play one on Tuesday in Ottawa, which I will be going to, so that's exciting.
Woo.
I have to decide what jersey I'm gonna wear. Probably my Josephville one, but I think I'll wait until the roster comes out and then make my decision.
Good
You
idea.
sent me. What did you send me?
I sent you the Adam
Oh, okay.
Johnson link.
I don't know.
That
So
was
I was like, I got nervous. You sent there was some news or something. You were like,
yeah.
yeah, no, but I think that's it. I'm trying to remember if this is going to be like really short or not, but I don't think it is. So I don't know. I will say though, I saw so many videos of like bag skates, like just various versions of bag skates. Ottawa had it going on. Philadelphia had it going
Oh,
on.
no.
Where else did I? Oh, Rangers saw it going on. But
Oh dear. Yeah.
yeah, I
I'm
think
still trying to
that's
get
it.
over the amount of Joseph Wall content alone that we've received in the last 48 hours. And I don't think I'm ever recovering.
Yeah, there's been a lot. It's been really weird because it went from us having to like scrounge for stuff.
Like begging for like actual crumbs
Yeah.
to them. What a treat.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy days.
I mean, I guess yeah, we'll end it here. I think it's probably a little bit of a shorter one, but to be honest, I didn't have time to write notes for this one. I could have done it before my class, but I accidentally fell asleep and then ended up being really rushed for time.
Oh,
And then I didn't have time when I got back from my class, so I didn't have notes for this one. So that's probably why I was like, I feel like there's more that I want to
yeah.
talk about, but I can't remember what it is. I feel like I definitely am like missing something, but it's fine. I'll just bring it up on Monday.
Yeah. Well,
Or I'll
we've
tweet
got,
about it and be
there's
like,
always Monday.
meant to bring this up. There's always Monday. So with that being said, thank you so much. All the senators tweeted something. And it's
Ew.
weird.
Mm.
Oh no, it was just like it's a 2 minute and 40-second video about how they announced their road jersey sponsor.
Okay.
Dramatic.
Mm.
See, I just think it's dramatic for a company that I had to look up when they announced it.
Yeah.
Like at least like I get it when it's around like Oreos and it's a bigger brand, like having to do that because it's like, oh,
It's
everyone
Oreo.
like right? Like everyone knows an Oreo cookie.
Mm.
I guess now I'm gonna have to start buying Oreo cookies when I watch Leaf games.
Yeah.
Switch up my stress snacks. Time to Google beers that pair well with Oreo cookies.
You could just go straight glass of milk.
So, no, because it'd have to be chocolate milk. I don't drink plain milk. We've had this discussion. We definitely have had it on the podcast before. At
You don't
least, I
drink
think.
plain milk?
No, I don't drink plain milk. I buy milk in 1 liter cartons instead of 2 liter cartons because I actually don't go through milk that quickly.
Oh wow. I go through milk so well. I usually
I
get
dr-
oat milk
I d- I
because I
drink
am
like when
lactose
I was a
intolerant.
kid, I would have like multiple cups of chocolate milk like a day. Like
Mm,
at dinner, I drink chocolate milk, but not plain milk. No.
damn.
I
No,
think
every
anyone
now
who
and
like
then.
no. I think because me and Simon have had this, I don't want to say argument. I will say I'll call it a discussion. We've had this so many times where where it's like, I can't believe like someone be like, oh, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna drink a glass of plain milk. I think that's crazy. I think that's so great. Like I'm like, oh, to quench my thirst, I'm gonna have a glass of plain milk. That's mental. I think
Look,
that's like, don't
it's
tell me.
nice. I sometimes all I want is a big, nice cold pint of milk,
No.
and I will just down it.
No, but is that what you do when you go, oh, I'm thirsty? I'm gonna have.
Well, no, if I'm thirsty, I'll drink water because I'm hydration. But a nice cold glass of milk absolutely
Well,
bangs.
yeah, no, because I love a good glass of chocolate milk, like a solid good glass of chocolate milk. But like I do know people who go, oh, I'm thirsty. To quench my thirst, I will drink a glass of plain milk. And that's what I think is mental.
Yeah, no, if you're thirsty and your go-to thing is milk, go. But no,
Psychopathic behavior. Yeah.
I'm a regular enjoyer of just a nice cold glass of milk.
No. But yeah, we'll end it there. So no, I won't be doing my Oreo cookies with milk because I do not drink milk, but
Oh,
perhaps everyone else can.
loving a
Um,
glass of milk before bed.
no.
Yeah.
Um, I'll do a cup of tea. Thank you very much.
The
But
greatest.
yeah. But with that being said, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back on Monday with another episode, and we'll actually have some real hockey games to talk about, like real
Yeah.
NHL hockey games. It's really
Finally.
exciting. It's really exciting. Oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna phrase this. Oh yes, so yeah, be sure to go follow um Offside News at Offside News Co. I think that they're that across all social platforms. It's not just on Twitter, it's also on Instagram, it's also on TikTok. Go follow them on Instagram, go follow them on TikTok, go check out their website, maybe add it to your bookmarks tab. Who knows, get crazy with it. Um, Also make sure you can find the show wherever you get your podcast. You can also follow the show on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. That's four with the number 4TH. That you can also follow Marcie and I on Twitter at 60 Leafs and at Parody1. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back on Monday. Bye bye.
Bye bye.